21, Strabo I, 2. 3. Edition 1620. Page 19. We tell children pleasant stories to encourage them, and to discourage them, terrifying tales such as those of Lamia, Gorgon, Ephialtes, and Mormelic. Lamia, a woman who ate children. Gorgon, a woman with snake hair, brass hands and teeth as big as wild boar tusks, whose sight killed and petrified. Ephialtes, a giant who tried to climb the heavens and put Asa on Olympus, and Pelion on Asa. The Mormelic are spirits and ghosts. Luther said, I would not give up the wonderful stories that I have taken from my childhood, or those that I have encountered in my life, for any amount of gold. Dr. Luther put effort into the old and contaminated Aesop's fables and wanted to create a renewed and improved collection of fairy tales for the Germans, which many good people at the time enjoyed. However, because the dear man was busy with preaching and writing the Bible, this unfinished work was left, which nevertheless Magister George Rohrer later included in the 9th part of Luther's German books. In the beautiful hop song, the doctor recalls the monkey that wanted to split wood but forgot the wedge and was embarrassed in the process. He also recalls the frog that sat on the penny and boasted that money brings honor. I have heard some good fables from him over dinner, such as the one about the crow that punished the monkeys who tried to blow fire out of a firefly and lost their heads. A not unfamiliar fable, for example, found in Walch's Decus Fab. Schuppi Schriften. Fabul Hans. S. 530. Johannes Muller. One should seek out and circulate the wisdom of the people among whom one lives, in its various forms, even in songs, which old women tell to little girls by the fire. Hister. Critic I. 245. W. Scott. In the notes to his poem Lady of the Lake. Edinb. 1810. Page 392. A work of great interest might be compiled upon the origin of popular fiction and the transmission of similar tales from age to age and from country to country. The mythology of one period would then appear to pass into the romance of the next century, and that into the nursery tale of the subsequent ages. Such an investigation, while it went greatly to diminish our ideas of the richness of human invention, would also show that these fictions, however wild and childish, possess such charms for the populace, as enable them to penetrate into countries unconnected by manners and language and having no apparent intercourse though afford the means of transmission. It would carry me far beyond my bounds, to produce instances of this community of fable, among nations, who never borrowed from each other anything intrinsically worth learning. Indeed, the wide diffusion of popular fictions may be compared to the facility with which straws and feathers are dispersed abroad by the wind, while valuable metals cannot be transported without trouble and labor. There lives, I believe, only one gentleman, whose unlimited acquaintance with this subject might enable him to do it justice. I mean my friend, Mr. Francis Dowse, of the British Museum, whose usual kindness will, I hope, pardon my mentioning his name, while on a subject so closely connected with his extensive and curious researches. Aloy Johanno, in his work Memoirs of the Celtic Academy, states, one also knows the fairy tales of Puss in Boots and Little Thumb with his 7-league boots, popular tales of the highest antiquity, which are not the invention of Perrault.